Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. Today is Wealth Wednesday. It is April 7th. I'm excited to be here with you all today. My name is Keely. I am your host. Our quote of the day today is, "Wisdom is the power to put our time and our knowledge to the proper use." We've got our dates for Leadership Retreat. We're going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. That is going to be August 20th through the 24th of this year. We will see you in Mexico. To qualify for Leadership Retreat, you do need to have your 1-star, 3-star, or 5-star qualification. Every Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, that's our opportunity to connect with Bob Snyder, our CEO, on the Renatus Founders Live. That's every single week on Monday, and you can find that in the Facebook page, Renatus Founders Live. Monday nights at 7 p.m. we've got our national study groups. Right now we're making our way through the essentials courses, and you can find this event in the Helios calendar. These are hosted by Christian George. If you haven't downloaded the Renatus Helios app, make sure you do so. There's a lot of great features. I love that it lets you know when you have a commission paid or when you have a guest checked into an event. That way you know that they're present and got checked in. And then there's, of course, the Money Mastery videos that are uploaded every day, brand new ones each day. So lots of great features with the app. Make sure you get that downloaded and give it 5 stars if you haven't yet. We've got a lot of daily and weekly support with Elevate Renatus. We've got our Private Capital Masterclass with Daine Clark. That's every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, where we talk all things private capital. So make sure that if you're an AI2 student, you're watching your private capital classes, writing down questions and action steps, and bringing those to this masterclass. We also have our dream call. That is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 9:45. We usually go till 10 o'clock, and we talk all things real estate investing. And then, of course, we've got our marketing team call that we're on right now. That is Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 Mountain Time. We talk all about business, marketing, mindset, and personal development. Lots and lots of values on our morning calls. The OES is the optional event subscription. We do ask that you're a part of the OES to participate in the Dream Call, as well as the Private Capital Masterclass. And then another perk with that is that you get your $50 waived every month for the intensive. So check out the website here on the page, oes.com. That's where you can sign up for the OES. And there's also a short video there that talks about what the OES is in more detail. If you're looking to introduce any of your guests to the Profits Education, which we've just added 2 more classes to, you can do that by getting them in front of Scott Rowe. Scott Rowe does a presentation, an intro presentation every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You can find that in the Helios calendar. Just type in profits. You'll see that pop up on Tuesdays. Every Wednesday, so today at 7 p.m., we've got our virtual house tour where we get to tour somebody's property and we get to see what's actively going on in today's market. And we get to see a lot of different classes being put to use, exit strategies, acquisition strategies. There's a lot to be learned, and this is a really, really great exposure for your guests. So make sure that you're building for these house tours each and every week. Every Thursday, we've got our Super Bowl of events. We have a lot going on Thursdays. We have our corporate onboarding session that starts at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And then everything else on the list you see here is at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. So we have another house tour on Thursdays. So on Wednesdays, it is in English. On Thursdays, we have a Spanish house tour. And then we have our Pillars of Wealth intro presentation. We've got our Velocity Banking study group, and then multifamily and short-term rentals. So a few study groups and then a few intro presentations on Thursday. Lots going on, so you get to kind of pick and choose which you'd like to go to based on where you're at in your business and what fits you best. We do record these morning calls. We are on our Facebook page, which is Renatus Team Elevate. Definitely make sure you're a part of that page. There's a lot of important announcements there. You get to network with other students. You get to share your wins, ask questions. So very, very valuable page to be a part of. And then, of course, you can catch these replays on that Facebook page. And then our YouTube channel has a lot of value to it. There's at least 6 or 7 years worth of these morning calls on the YouTube channel. So if you're new or if you've been around for a while, go to that YouTube channel, type in Elevate Renatus, get subscribed, and watch some of the previous recordings. And then another thing that you can find on the YouTube channel is our Zoom Up playlist, where we have over 100 interviews with different students from across the nation, where we learn about why they got started with Renatus and what they've been able to accomplish. And those are really short and sweet, only about 20 minutes long. And those are also a really great exposure for your guests. So make sure you're taking advantage of all the value provided with the YouTube channel. Today is Wealth Wednesday. We get to learn from Daine Clark. First, before we introduce Daine, let's shift over to our money mastery exercise. We will watch a short video together, and then at the end, there is a call to action that we will take just a few minutes to do that together. And feel free to share the call to action in the chat. We would love to hear your thoughts. All right, thanks everyone for sharing your thoughts in the chat. I love Steve Harvey. One of my favorite quotes from him is, all you have to do is jump, you know? That was something that I really listened to hard when I decided to quit my job. So anyway, love Steve Harvey. That was a really good video. And thanks for sharing your thoughts in the chat. We appreciate that. So today is Wealth Wednesday. Let's shift over to our trainer of the day. We are with Daine Clark today. I'm so very grateful that Daine spends his time with us each and every Wednesday morning to help us with our businesses. He's had a lot of success, both as a real estate investor and as a marketer. And so make sure you take notes today and listen to what Daine has to say. He also has a very incredible story. Before Renatus, Daine was actually working 2 jobs. He was working both at Apple, at the Apple store in the back, kind of shy, counting cell phones, not out on the floor talking to customers. He actually grew up working on a farm, so talking to people wasn't really something that he was very comfortable with. And then he also, on the weekends, was a roofer. He fell into roofing. That's what his dad did. And he realized that he needed to change some things up. He wanted to make more money, and because at the time he was barely making ends meet. He had heard about real estate investing, but was not super excited about it at the beginning, from what I understand. But after some time, he thought about it and decided he wanted to get started with it. So he came to a Renatus event, and after learning about the Renatus program, he decided to dive in. He listened to his mentors, he watched his classes, and started to apply what he was learning. And one of the first things that he did was he bought a duplex. He utilized Velocity Banking as leverage to get into that duplex, where he rented out one side and lived in the other side. Fast forward to today, now Daine has raised over $23 million from various investors to go towards different transactions. And his secret to that is consistency and frequency. So not only is Daine killing it on the real estate side, he is also a team leader when it comes to marketing. And Bob Snyder recognizes him as a key leader in the community. Daine is on the PIT team, which is the PAC in training, the President's Advisory Council. And we have a lot to learn from Daine. So again, make sure you take notes. I'm very excited for what Daine has to share with us this morning. Good morning, Daine. How are you?
What's up, guys? How are you doing? Working from remotely today in the truck. In fact, I wish you guys could see my view. We are camping right on the edge of a lake, Lake Powell, if you know where that is, and super, super beautiful. I mean, the sun just came up, and I committed that I'm still going to do all of my masterminds this week, and so excited to be here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Keely, for the intro. Thank you so much for and thanks for updating that photo right then and there. I figured, she might get this after the meeting, but thank you for jumping on that. But yeah, excited to. In fact, if I'm on the phone, if you guys want to see this actually will be a follow-up. I shared with you guys one of the things on my vision board, and we just got it. This is our maiden voyage, actually. And so here's there's the view. One of the things that was on my vision board was I wanted a house on wheels. And so this is literally our first voyage in this bad boy right here. This is what a couple $100,000 gets you in motorhome world, if you will. We put so much solar on top that we've been able to run our air conditioner without even having to start the generator, and complete solar power. We actually put a Tesla Powerwall, if I'm getting that correctly, a Tesla Powerwall in that thing, which is just a massive lithium battery. And here was one of the things that I wanted. that I put on my vision board. I wanted cash in the bank to go and buy this sucker, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars to go and buy this sucker. And was a really cool feeling when we had that in the bank. However, it was interesting. At the last minute, I decided not to just write a check for a couple $100,000, and I kept that money in the bank, and they gave me like 3%, 3-something percent interest. And so I kept that money in the bank, and I went and bought 4 or 5 houses, more houses, I should say. And it's more than, let's see, quadruple, more than 4 times paying for that. So it was interesting because I told myself I wanted the cash, and that's what I
Daine,
put on my vision board. Oh, sorry. Can you guys not?
I'm so sorry. I meant to spotlight you and I accidentally turned off your video. So will you turn your video back
Oh,
on?
you
And
turned
I'll
off the
spotlight
video?
you? Sorry.
Oh, did everybody not see this bad boy? I'll get back out real fast. Is that what people are saying? Is they didn't see this? All right.
Yeah, show us.
Couple hundred. Oh, I guess my audio is on the truck, so you guys can't hear me as well if I stand. But there is that's what a couple $100,000 gets you in motorhome land. We're camped, if you can see through that right there. We're camped right on the beach. And actually, this is our old toy hauler. This is the person that bought our toy hauler from us. And we're camping with them to show them how we run our systems there. We didn't put quite as much solar on that one, but he was super excited that he's got more than enough solar on the toy hauler. But anywho, but yeah, I have been able to mark that off on my vision board, and like that was like the biggest, baddest thing that I thought was unreachable. To buy a toy with that kind of money, like blew my mind. And then all of a sudden, we had all these things coming together, had a great first quarter of this year. And yeah, so great question, actually. Let me look at the chat real fast. Chat. Let's see. Karen says, so why did you keep money in the bank? I actually had a conversation with Bob Snyder recently, and it was interesting because he is, and I probably shouldn't share his story himself, but he felt the same way. And all of a sudden, when I had, let's see, I think we had enough money in the bank that we could buy 2 of these, and because I like to have lots of reserves. I didn't want to just save up a couple $100,000 and then have no money in the bank. And so we had basically double what it cost to buy this sucker in the bank. And when we went to buy it, I was the Porta place, the Porta Palace. Porta Palace, is that what I saw? That's funny. So Karen's question, why did I keep the money in the bank? Because they were offering such low interest. I had the money in the bank to pay cash, yes. They're offering such low interest, and I was like, and I actually really want to hit on what Keely shared on this money mastermind today. Such low interest that I was like, man, I could take that $200,000 and I could go make a fairly secure 30% minimum return on that money. In other words, I could go make 60 grand a year with that 200,000 instead of just dump it into something that, because I have to admit, we did buy it brand spanking new. And so I would dare guess that it's already lost $20,000-$30,000 in value, but we didn't care. Because you can't put a price on memories, right? And we bought this for memories with the family. And so that's why I did it. I figured I could take that same cash, go buy, let's see, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 houses and cash flow 60 grand a year. And so that's actually what I've been doing since October. I personally have purchased about 9 houses and turned around and sold them on seller financing to get cash flow, and I haven't done a single deal that I'm making less than 30%. And so to me, right at the last minute, it was right at the last minute. In fact, we were getting on the plane. We actually flew out to Oklahoma because that was the best deal I could find, and it was the only one in the freaking country that I could find, needless to say. But best deal I could find, flew out there, bought it, and then drove it back. I was going to the bank to get a cashier's check, and then the guy calls me and says, "Hey, we can give you a bigger discount," which I was like, "Okay, cool, if you finance." But he also said, "Dude, you qualify for the absolute best interest rate known to man in RV land." And I was like, you know what? That makes sense, because like what Woody said, if you can make $10, if you can make $1,000, if you can make $100,000, duplicate it. And I feel like I'm just hitting this point in my life where I'm like, holy cow, like I can duplicate because I know what I'm doing, and I'm only doing one thing to make that money, to make that $100,000, if you will, over and over and over again in real estate. In fact, I saw somebody on here chat, like, I want to just do wholesales to make a bunch of money. Brilliant. Just do one thing. Don't go say like, oh, I'll buy a rental, I'll flip a house, I'll buy a duplex, I'll buy a multifamily, I'll wholesale, I'll flip a house. Like, don't be that guy or gal. Just do one thing over and over and over and over again. So, for example, these 9 homes that I've purchased since October last year, almost identical. Purchased it, sold it on seller financing on the same day, minimum 10% down. I upped it to 15% down later on. But again, now that I'm doing the 15% down, that is my one thing, 15% down. I purchased it, I sell it on the exact same day. Like if you didn't know any better, you'd think that I did the same deal over and over again. It was just different dollar amount. Do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I figured, with that $23 million that I've been able to put to work, and my own $200,000 cash, and instead of putting cash down on this, I could go and finance those 6 homes on my credit, my cash, not have to share with any partners, and just, go basically that's 60 grand a year in cash flow. And so that's why we did it. Absolutely why we did it. So anyway, enough about me though.
Let's financing do you have, Daine, with that? With that mobile home.
What kind of financing?
Yeah, what kind of financing is developed for? Do you have to put down, or is that like a car, or what is that?
It qualifies. It's kind of a hybrid between a car loan and a house loan, actually. Like, you can still go get a 20-year motorhome loan as long as it's, a house essentially. And so they gave me 3 something% interest on a 20-year. And put it this way.
And no down?
I put 10% down, which okay. I had to basically give them like my, obviously I had to give my social, so that's not a funny joke, but I literally had to give them like everything about my life for the last 2 years. They had to, I had to show them all that money in the bank, and update it. It was interesting. Like I had to show them last month. It was crazy. I felt like I had to buy a house basically to get that loan.
So it's basically like a traditional, like buying a house. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. When it's that big of a loan, I guess, because I think I financed, purchased it for literally $200,000 even, and I financed like 180, 181, something like that. So I put 19 grand down, and then I told myself that I didn't want to finance all the goodies, and so I paid cash for the solar. I paid cash for setting it all up. I got to tow the truck, and so all that stuff, all that extra goodies and stuff. I was like, I don't want to finance that. So I just paid cash for all that stuff too. Cause I didn't like the idea of being underwater, if you will. But anyway, but yeah, great questions, guys. So, a couple more chats. It's the third mentor that's mentioned that to me now. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. In fact, I should show you guys the text message from the guy that sold it to me. He's like, oh my gosh, I actually learned. I never had this on my vision board, but I actually learned through all this that on paper, I technically have become a millionaire. I've got $1 million net in all my real estate. And this is me personally. After I minus out all my partners and you know, of all this money that I've raised, all these houses of my equity in my house, cash in the bank. I actually have a net worth of over $1 million between real estate and cash in the bank. And it's about 2/3 in real estate and 1/3 in cash. And so, you know, a good liquidity to non-liquidity rate, I guess you could say. And I didn't know that. I only knew that by having them. They made me go through all of this stuff to figure that out. And it was, let's see, who said this? Who said this on here? Somebody was saying, oh my gosh, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, somebody was saying like, I'm sure the guy wants to buy Renata. Yes. He goes, dude,
Yeah.
you need to show me how you did this. Cause he's like, dude, you're 31. How are you doing this? How do you have 9, the contracts for deeds essentially? How do you have all these loans out in investment real estate? How do you have all this cash in the bank and you're 31 years old? And so we've already started talking real estate. And so I assume because I've shared this before, when I started posing questions to him to figure out like, hey, what's his thermometer status? Like, is he like, I should probably look into real estate, or like, I need to look into real estate, or he's to the point where he's like, I don't care what it takes. I am doing real estate. I think I got him to the point where he's like, I should look into real estate because this dude just walked in here and bought this RV, could have paid cash, but didn't, has all these properties. And so I will be following up. Yes, I will. And so absolutely awesome. Let's see. Sorry, I can't get all these comments. Yeah, Chris McIntosh. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I pay it's like 3.9% or something like that. But still, 3.9%. I take that 200,000, I go make 30, and I still have 2 years of cash in the bank after spending the 200,000 on more real estate deals. People are asking, did you pay cash for the 9 houses? No, I didn't. Using leverage for those 2. I should say this. We paid cash for the houses, and now I'm refinancing them because all that equity can kind of like what he said, like do it 10 times. So paid cash for them, turning around and refinancing them, getting all that money back and paying like 3% interest still. And again, still maintaining 2 years of cash in the bank. That is one of the smartest things you can do. Like, if you ever talk money with people, don't talk in terms of like, oh, I've got this much money in the bank. Talk in terms of like, hey, here's how many years in the bank I keep cash. I think Bob Snyder would approve of me telling you this, because he hasn't shared with me money dollar amounts. But I asked him once. I said, Bob, because Bob doesn't have any debt to his name, period. And he's got millions of dollars of paid for free and clear real estate. And I can't quite say I'm there yet, but he did say, he's like, I have 25 years in the bank. cash in the bank. 25 years cash in the bank. That inspired me. So always be talking cash and years in the bank, which means you know how much you spend every month, every year. You know your lifestyle. You know, back to Dave Ramsey. You know, I know that a lot of people in Renatus dog on Dave Ramsey. I'm included in that group. I've dogged on Dave Ramsey, but the concept that he teaches budget-wise, you know, and you know, you can, to each his own. Know how much you spend. And so if you know, if I may talk about some of my financial decisions in my wife and I's marriage, I don't actually budget. But here's what I do. Instead of saying like, oh, well, here's how much we should spend on groceries, and here's how much we should spend on gas and insurance and all that stuff, we've added all that stuff up, and I have basically told my wife, I will move this much money over to a checking account from the business. I don't care if I make $100,000 in a month. I don't care if I make $5,000 in a month. I will move this much money over to this bank account, and that's how we spend. That's what we spend out of that account. You know, debit card, basically, food, gas, groceries, insurance, utilities, basically all of our living expenses. And I tell my wife, when that money is gone, it's gone. The debit card will decline if you swipe it when the money's gone. And I will not move one more penny into that account. So that's how my wife and I budget and keep ourselves, I call it the Murphy's Law budget, because if you have more money in the bank, it's easy to just be like, more money's there, and you just spend it. So you spend more. And so what we do is just say, we'll move that much money into that checking account, and that's the only debit card in the wallet. Of course, I have to keep, you know, my card for the business, but you know, it's not a tax write-off. If it's not a tax write-off, don't spend it out of the business. Don't commingle, right? And so I don't. But when that money's gone, it's gone. And so I call it the C budget, because I feel like most humans, myself included, my wife included, if we see money, it's easy to spend it. And so we just spend that money until we see that it's gone every single month. And on the first day of the month, I move that money over to that checking account, not a penny more. And if it's, so literally, if we like run out of milk on the 20th of the month, I'm like, sorry, hon, I'm not moving another dollar over. We're going to have to live off of water and orange juice in our cereal. My wife actually doesn't let us eat cereal anymore, but whatever, you guys get the point. Don't spend a dollar more. And that's actually how I've been able to save so well and put all these years in the bank, cash years in the bank, because we only spend that much. And we move that over. Everything else, like I said, if I have $100,000 month, I think I've had one or maybe two of those so far this year. If I have $100,000 come into my business bank account, I still move only that dollar amount over. That's it. And so that's how we budget, if you will. Yeah, we don't do it the Dave Ramsey way, but we still have it. If you know, that's what I'm getting at. Let's see. Somebody's got their hand up. Is it Kevin? Kevin Wright. Kevin Wright has his hand up. Let me know if that's on purpose. Come off of mute and just interrupt me. But yeah, sorry, we're already like 8:45. I hope this was valuable. I don't love just, you know, talking about myself like this, but hopefully you guys got something from this. Let's see.
Sorry, that was not on purpose.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Absolutely. Better budget process. Yeah. Take that budget process, because it has absolutely worked for me. I would share that with anybody. Let's see. Yeah. All right, cool. If I missed one of your comments or questions, just comment again, because I can't scroll through all these. But go ahead and share with me. I'm not sure why I can hear myself. Do I need to put somebody else on mute? Mute. All right, there we go. Cool. Whoever that was that's off of mute, if it was on purpose, just come back off of mute, interrupt me, ask your question or make your comment. But go ahead and tell me, guys, how many people did you talk to? How many people did you say the words real estate investing to, or I should say talk real estate investing to in the last 30 days? How many people did you get to an intro? How many people did you get to a house tour? How many people did you start them down the funnel of sending them the video series, if you will? I've got a fun story about this where I don't know where this conversation is going to go, but in fact, I'm going to have another conversation with this person later today. My wife and I had a plan a year ago, maybe longer actually. It might have been more than a year ago, but we told ourselves that we would post 2 real estate posts per month. And so if you go back and look at my sorry. He said 30, but sorry, 7 days. How many conversations in the last 7 days? Yeah, thank you guys for those comments. Anyway, last 7 days, how many conversations, intros, videos, all that good stuff. And sorry, what was I saying? Oh, 2. So my wife and I, if you go back and look at our Facebook, we have averaged 2 real estate related posts every month for the last, I know it's over a year. And because back to Rob Sperry's class, after learning that, he posts like 4 or 5 times a week. And I was like, dude, I post like once a year. And so for me to go from once a year to several times a week, I was like, I'm not doing that. And so I just said, you know what? Here's my ratio. I'm going to start posting 2 times a month about real estate. And of course, my wife does a few things, I don't know, maybe once or twice a week around our family and whatever, stuff that we're doing family-wise. And I just tell her, tag me in every one of them. And that's how I get it. And so Bobby Johnson, 7 days, last 7 days is all. And so we've done that for over a year, 2 real estate posts per month. And never do I say, ask me how, or never, no call to action, 0. It's just credibility. Hey, doing this. Hey, doing that. Hey, doing this with that person. Hey, did that for that person. Hey, doing this. Hey, we did this as a community, real estate investing community. That's it for every 30 days, 2, so basically 24 per year real estate investing posts. And this happens every New Year's, at the beginning of the year, I get people reach out to me. And so literally, the words out of this guy's mouth was, Daine, I have been following you and your wife for probably ever since you started doing this, over a year. And I've never liked any of your real estate posts. I've never commented on any of your real estate posts. Like literally, I've just, and he said, I've been stalking you basically without letting you know. I never liked them. I never commented on them, but I've been following you. And he's like, dude, I have been watching your journey. I don't care what it takes. I know you probably have something to sell me. I don't care what it takes. I want in. Let's do this. This is actually my wife's long lost cousin that I've never met. She probably hasn't seen him in over 10 years. So arguably, this is just a Facebook friend. And here he is, like all of a sudden, he's like, I want what you have. I need what you have. Just tell me what it is and let's do it. And I mean, it's crazy. So make that decision of what you will do over and over, how often you will do it. So super exciting conversation that we'll be having a deeper conversation about that later today. Stoked about that. But yeah, all right, let's get to these comments. Let's see. Bruce had 1, great job. Kevin 10, great job, man. Luis had 1, Gilda had 4, Ann had 4, Nina had 3, Maurice had 3, Jakar, oh yeah, sorry about that, last 30 days. 7 days, yes. Sandra had 7, Charles had 2. I hope you will keep doing the Thursday raising money. I can start attending. Regina, I'm guessing that you probably heard. Oh, somebody's trying to call me. Let me get rid of that screen. You probably heard that we hit our 6-month mark, which I had committed to do that for 6 months. After I told everybody that would be the last one in that rendition, that's all I meant. It'll be the last one in that rendition. I had tons of people reach out to me and say, Daine, I need this. I need to start raising money. I need this help. And when we're going live at our local event center again, like kind of like we were back before COVID. And so I can tell you this, that the raising money aspect is not going away. And so you don't need to worry about that. I just want to make sure that I am prepared to start doing it live as that opens up. In fact, we are, Ryan Black and I, the PAC member that's in my area, Ryan Black and I were just talking last week, and he's like, hey, I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go live. And so I just wanted to make sure that I am available for Thursday night at 7 p.m. when that goes live. And so, but I will tell you this, Jared, I don't know exactly. I need to get back with Ryan, but I know it's very, very soon. Like I would dare say let's see, what are we, April 7th? Oh yeah, within this month for sure. So whether it's next week, the week after, I don't know. Ryan is working out some of those details, but, and really quickly, let me finish this thought. The raising money will not discontinue. We'll probably just roll it into 7 o'clock. And I will do it live at the college, but we will also do it where people can zoom in. And so that's basically what I'm thinking. I don't see why it should change. However, I know that I will get asked to do the intro presentation, at least occasionally. And so I will be serving in that capacity where I'll be doing the intro presentation at the college live. But I've already committed to all the people that have especially enjoyed my masterminds around raising money, that I don't want to do the intro presentation every single week like I used to. I want to make sure that there's a rotation. Yeah, I want to do the intro presentation, but I don't know why, but I have fallen in love with this side of working with the students like this. And so I want to make sure that maybe there's a rotation. So maybe I do like the private capital mastermind on Thursdays at 7, every second week of the month and fourth week of the month. And so we have 2 per month or something like that. And then I'll do the intro presentation the first week and the third week or something. We'll figure it out. So anyway, those are the ideas that I've got right now that are mowing around in my head to do. But yeah, I don't want to give up the mastermind stuff. So anyway, Gilda, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, have you thought about doing it on a different day or like?
I run stuff. I try not to overload my calendar with too many masterminds, too many, so for example, like today, Wednesdays are like the marketing one. I run one for just my team on Tuesdays so that I can address just those people. And then I run the Thursday. And so I don't want to do more than 3 per week. I used to do 4, and it took me away from running my business and closing my leads, closing my stuff. And so I want to make sure that I keep it to 3 per week. And so something would have to give. if I said, all right, I'll do Thursdays at 7, I'll do Wednesdays at 9, I'll do Tuesdays at 5. And if I said, oh, well, we'll just run the private capital on Wednesdays at 7 or something like that, something would have to give. But yeah, so that's
Okay. Yeah, I know we're
still in the
open
top
here in
5.
Chicago too, so that's my volunteer time, checking in people and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so
absolutely,
that's
absolutely. We all have
cool.
to still run our own businesses. I
Right.
still have to go practice what I preach. I still have to go have my conversations. I still have to have my one-on-ones, and then come and do these masterminds. But yes, we'll continue online even if we start going. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, Keely. Keep that work-life balance. Prior capital recordings. I think we streamed them. I think we streamed most, if not all of them, to a Facebook group, but a lot of that was just to make sure that I CYA and said, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a financial planner, I'm not giving advice here, I'm just calling it as I see it, but everybody needs to go get their own competent professionals and stuff like that. And so it was never the intention to make those available. But again, it's not going away. And so if there are things that you specifically need, then bring those up as we do those meetings. And so yeah. And then, Keely, I'm not sure if I have mentioned this to you, but there will not be a private capital mastermind this Thursday, tomorrow, essentially. And so I'm not sure how I'm not sure who sends those texts out, but yeah, let's make sure we do that we change that.
I'll make sure to change that. Thank you, Daine.
It's not going away. Everybody rest assured, it's not going away. But as we go back live, and everybody will be zoomed in still, I might just only be able to do it like twice a month. If I'm perfectly honest with you guys, I actually prefer the mastermind because it's different every single week, where the intro presentation is like the same. And so it provides a lot of it challenges me. When you guys have questions, it challenges me. The intro presentation isn't, I have a different crowd every single week, and so it's its own challenge, but it doesn't challenge me the way that the Private Money Mastermind did, and I loved it. I learned a ton by going through the Private Money Mastermind with you guys, and so I don't want to give that away. I'm too selfish for growth and learning, I should say. Yes. So anyway, does anybody have any questions though? I know we're right at the top of the hour. That we didn't. I feel bad we didn't get to any training. I guess in a way there was some training involved here today. Hopefully that was helpful for everybody, changing your finances. Or I should say,
when they plan
Murphy's
on going
Law,
live?
proofing your finances.
Where
But yes, go ahead. Who do I have?
Where can I find the Facebook?
Do you know when you plan
Michelle.
on going live?
I know it will be this month. Like it's literally, it will be this month for sure. And
Will it be at
so,
community college?
but yeah, in fact, I should call. Since I've been out here, we've been out here for almost a week now, and so I haven't plugged in as much to what's going on. But yeah, I should probably call Ryan today. But yeah, we're on vacation. Don't apologize. Yeah. But yes, thank you guys. Hopefully that was helpful today with what we shared. Go have more conversations. I mean, take your business into your hands. The things that you do, the things that you learn here, this doesn't make you money. This is just helping you sharpen the tool. The most important work you will do will be without masterminds like this. It's kind of like myself. Like, you got to go create those stories. You have to go create those stories that you bring to this. The Facebook posts, the people, the conversations. Go have conversations outside of these masterminds so that you bring more to the table in these masterminds is my motto. And so I have to make sure I do have time for that. But yeah, last couple of comments, and then we've got to call it. Thank you guys so much for all the love. Tim, we've got paddle boards, we've got the Raptor, we've got drones, we've got RC, we got all the fun toys. I bet we look ridiculous.
to our, camping neighbors. Let's see. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you. Okay. Appreciate you guys. I will see you next week. That's never going away. I'll tell you that. I love this so much. But yeah, happy Wealth Wednesday, guys. Go have conversations. Tell me about it next week.
Happy birthday, Michael Huggins.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Woo.